All right. Let's see. That should fix that problem. That was weird. Okay. All right. That should fix that problem. Let me go back and double check real quick. All right. Problem fixed. All right. We got sound. My goodness. Shout out to my man, Mr. Winston here, for being here. Let me know that I'm talking to myself because I ain't got no sound. But we back now. Where was I at before I was rudely interrupted by not having any sound here? I was like, yeah, baby, we are back. We are live. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vibe. I host this live stream every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Whether or not we are in season or out of season, we happen to be in season right now, but we are here for the next half an hour to an hour, however long it takes for me to get what I got to get off my chest here. But shout out to my man, Mr. Winston. Shout out to the rest of the people who come in and out the live stream. I appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging with your boy here on the yard. But what a week it's been. Actually, what a few weeks it's been for us Bear fans. But this week in particular was so sweet. The Commanders, the Mandies, the Commander fans, who I now call the Mandies, talking trash. They're still butthurt. They are still butthurt after our victory here on Monday night. The Mandy fans are still talking. Personally, let me address the Mandies real quick. Okay, listen up, Mandies. Listen for you. For the Mandies out there who are stating that their quarterback outplayed Caleb Williams on Monday night. That's right, the bum Manders. I'm going to call them the Mandies, though. I like it. It just sounds more hilarious to me. But for the Mandies out there who are still talking about how Jaden Daniels outplayed Caleb Williams on Monday night, let me run this by you real quick. Let me run this scenario by you real quick. If your quarterback commits 2 turnovers, including a turnover that literally cost his team the game, and his counterpart on the other side of the field commits 0 turnovers and his team wins the game, it is literally impossible. Like, there is no multiverse on earth where your quarterback outplayed the other quarterback. Your quarterback had more turnovers, including a turnover that literally cost his team the game. But you want to get on my Twitter in 2025 and scream to the high heavens about how Jaden Daniels outplayed Caleb Williams in a game that Jaden Daniels fumbled the game away and Caleb had 0 turnovers? What sense does that make? What multiverse are you coming from? Because I don't understand it. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you love Jaden Daniels. We are not in 2024 anymore. We are in 2025. It is a new year, a new season, a new situation here. And Monday night, I'm sorry, Jaden Daniels did not outplay Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams had 0 turnovers and Caleb Williams' team won the game. So, Mandy, get over it. He took the L, suck it up, move on to your next opponent, the Cowboys. And you better beat them, because if you don't beat the Cowboys, we really gonna laugh at y'all, considering the fact that Caleb just stomped the Cowboys out like 3 weeks ago. But I digress. Squeegee, what up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. So it's funny. I try to watch all the Bears press conferences as they go live. And as I'm watching these Bears press conferences, I see a Squeegee in the chat for the live streams of the press conferences. So shout out to Squeegee, man. He's all over Bears YouTube, yo. So I appreciate you being here, my guy. Hopefully you are doing well. But that's the first thing. Mandy, get over it. Your quarterback sucked it up on Monday night. He did not outplay Caleb Williams. He took the L. Caleb took the W. It is what it is. Next, Troy Aikman. Oh, my goodness. Troy Aikman. Boy. So, this Troy Aikman stuff is kind of hilarious to me, because a lot of people who watched that game on Monday night were literally just wondering what the hell was wrong with Troy Aikman and why was he critiquing Caleb Williams so hard. Even in situations where Caleb completed a pass, Troy Aikman somehow came up with a criticism. I'm sorry. First off, you can't really criticize the quarterback if the pass is completed, Troy. That's not how that works. But secondly, you are a color commentator. Your job is not to critique the player. Your job is to explain the play as it's happening on the field. It's not to have a personal opinion about player A or player B. But for whatever reason on Monday night, Troy Aikman had a bug up his behind as it relates to Caleb Williams, and he was all over Caleb no matter what Caleb was doing, no matter whether it be good or bad. Troy Aikman seem to have a problem with Caleb Williams. Now, obviously, as Bear fans watching the game, we could feel some type of way about Troy Aikman talking about Caleb the way that he talked about Caleb, right? But it really gets my attention, and it really starts to resonate when non-Bear fans also comment on Aikman scathing criticisms of Caleb Williams. When non-Bear fans are questioning you, bro, that's when you know you went too far, okay? Because they don't have a dog in the fight. They don't care. But when they feel like you are being too critical of Caleb Williams, that's when you know you need to dial that ish back. But then it doesn't even end there, because the head coach of the Chicago Bears even talked about watching you on mute because of some of your commentary about the game. So when non-Bear fans and the Chicago Bears head coach both comment on Aikman's commentary, that's a problem. That's not normal. You should never have a head coach commenting on your commentary. I'm sorry. That just goes beyond the pale to me. So I don't think we're going to get any type of comment from Troy Aikman about this. He's probably going to act like it ain't happened, or he's probably going to act like it's just business as usual. That was not business as usual. That was you with an axe to grind. And then we find out from Caleb Williams why he has an axe to grind, or potentially why he's having an axe to grind. Bruh! Apparently, Caleb Williams missed a meeting with him, a pre-production meeting with him. But after Caleb Williams missed the meeting, Caleb tried to call Troy Aikman at the end of the day to try to set something up or whatever, but it didn't happen. Apparently, according to Caleb, Aikman didn't pick up the phone. So let me get this straight. Troy Aikman, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, broadcaster, got so in his damn feelings that he let it affect the way that he did his job on Monday Night Football. Do you know how embarrassing that is, Troy Aikman? That is embarrassing. Caleb Williams is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Let me put this out there as well, because I just want people to understand what is going on before I get the squeegee comments here. In the current timeline that we live in, it is 2025. Troy Aikman won his Super Bowl some 30 plus years ago, okay? In the timeline of 2025, nobody gives a monkey's nipple about Troy Aikman unless it's like a hardcore football fan or maybe a Cowboy fan from back in the 90s. In 2025, the only thing that we know Aikman for mainly is as a broadcaster in the booth. Whatever you did 30 years ago, I promise you the kids today don't give a damn. And as it relates to your current station in life, Troy Aikman, I'm sorry, but Caleb Williams' time is more valuable than yours. You are a broadcaster. He is a starting quarterback of an NFL team. His time, if money is valuable, if he was at later at Halland Hall getting extra work in, it is up to you, Troy Aikman, to make something work to where you could talk to him. It is not on Caleb Williams to try to make time for Troy Aikman. No, Aikman is a broadcaster. He is not an NFL player anymore. It is not on the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears to make time for a production meeting for a broadcaster. What are we talking about here? That is not Caleb's job. Caleb Williams' job is to go out there and throw touchdowns and lead the Chicago Bears to victory. If he mentions a production meeting with Troy Aikman, who gives a monkey's nipple? Who gives a damn? But more importantly, how the hell do you let that Troy Aikman cloud your judgment and get into your feelings so damn much that it actually impacts the way that you call the game over a production meeting? Fam, bro, see, this is the problem with today's society. People aren't held accountable for the stuff that they pull. If Troy Aikman's boss had any stones, like he would really call Troy Aikman to the office to have a conversation about what happened on that Monday night game. Because again, it ain't me just talking ish. The whole entire nation is talking about Troy Aikman's commentary and how just out of bounds it was and ridiculous that it was. But there are people defending Troy Aikman, of course, because again, Troy Aikman was relevant back in the 90s. He won 3 Super Bowls. So you got the good old boys network trying to defend him, including people here in Chicago on the score. So we'll listen to what they got to say real quick. It's just a bunch of monkey crap. But before we get to the people that what they got to say on the score, let me go back to my man Squeegee here. Squeegee said Aikman had 17 touchdowns and 33 picks in his first 21 games with Hall of Fame talent. Yeah, we if we compare Aikman's first 20-something starts to Caleb's first 20-something starts, it's a rout. It's a mollywhopping. Aikman don't want that noise. He don't want that smoke. He don't want that. Squeegee said he was talking about Caleb's accuracy across the middle when the ball was dropped because it was raining. Bro, right? The pass that Caleb threw to Olamide Zaccheaus, when it literally hit him in the chest and he dropped the pass, Aikman over there talking about he could have placed the ball in a better spot. What? How the hell could he have placed the ball in a better spot when it literally hit Olamide in the chest? Okay? It hit him in the chest. You can't place a football any better for a wide receiver than in their chest. But somehow Troy Aikman found a way to criticize that. Like, bro, what are we doing here, y'all? What are we doing? Then Squeegee goes on to say, Caleb did what was needed to win, and Daniels did not. Who did their job better? Caleb Williams. That's right, Mandy. For the Mandy fans that find this live stream somehow, or care to find this live stream, Caleb did the job better. Now quite a Bears won the game. But apparently, in Chicago, we have people out here defending Troy Aikman, which is just, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But let's listen to what these boys had to say on the score as it relates to the Troy Aikman, Caleb Williams brush up here. Because, bro, I don't know, man. People just say stuff to say stuff, bro. And I think before I play the clip, I think it's important to note that Troy Aikman is a regular occurring. Well, I don't know if it's regular, but he's been a guest on their show. So some of them defending him probably because they want him back on the show. They don't want to badmouth him. But I want you all to listen to this anyway, and let's see what they have to say about this. Because yeah, I don't know. This is kind of crazy. So let's go.
I think the fact that this is still an issue is the Bears' fault that it's still an issue. They are giving it oxygen. They continue to address it. The Instagram thing was not. If you want to call the meeting with Troy Aikman, blowing that off or missing it, disrespectful, it was also unprofessional. And I think that the Instagram post would fall in the same category. We talked about how mature he was last week. What is this?
All right, let me stop right there. So Caleb blowing off the meeting supposedly was unprofessional. I don't know if I'm ready to say that he blew off the meeting. Regardless of the case, though, as I stated like a few minutes ago, it is not Caleb Williams' job to meet with Troy Aikman. That is a luxury that Aikman enjoys as being a broadcaster on Monday Night Football, sure. But Caleb's job is not to meet with Troy Aikman. So I don't give a damn what you say about him blowing it off. Caleb's job is not to meet Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman needs to make that work somehow. If he really wants to meet with the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, he needs to make it work. It ain't on Caleb, but let's continue.
Can you imagine Joe Burrow doing this? No. Can you imagine a franchise quarterback, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL doing this? So I just think that it's revealing in a way that you don't want it to be. And last thing, pet peeve, Caleb, it's not I could care less because if you that means
okay, we're done with him. He's not just being stupid. And then he goes to talk about he talked about the Instagram post that Caleb Williams made alluding to this. Caleb Williams is 23 years old, okay? The way kids communicate today is on Instagram. I don't have any problem with Caleb Williams clapping back at Troy Aikman via Instagram. All he put up there was whoop-de-doo. It wasn't even a big deal. But the fact that he tried to spin this in a way that Caleb is the one that looks bad is ridiculous. When, again, Caleb Williams is a starting quarterback in the NFL in 2025. Troy Aikman is a broadcaster. It is not on Caleb Williams to make that happen. It is on Troy Aikman to make it work if he really wants to make it work. And if he can't make it work, then cool. Caleb Williams tried to call him back. He didn't answer the phone. That's on him. And then he goes on to Monday Night Football and just does everything in his power to belittle, or not, I shouldn't say belittle, but criticize, critique, and just scrutinize Caleb Williams to high hell, even when it wasn't even warranted. Now, am I saying that you can't be critical of Caleb Williams? No. Okay, although, again, I would say that that's not Troy Aikman's job to be critical of anybody, but I'm not going to sit here either and say that Caleb Williams is a perfect quarterback. He's been missing way too many layups lately, okay? Actually, he's been missing them all year, but he is still missing the easy throws that he should be making in his sleep. So I'm not saying that Caleb Williams is like the absolute best quarterback. He needs to clean these layups up and start hitting them. But Troy Aikman going out of bounds just to crap on Caleb every chance he gets ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. That's not even your job. Your job is to call the game and explain the game to the people at home, not criticize and critique Caleb Williams to high hell. So I am glad that people like Squeegee and everybody else out there is calling him to the carpet and putting his stats on blast. I saw Trey Winkle out there, who used to be an ESPN analyst or whatever, talk about how that's ignorant to compare their stats because they play in a different era. I don't care. I could care less. If he's going to be that openly critical of Caleb Williams in 2025, you damn right his stats are going to be called into question. If he's going to put himself out there in a public forum and criticize a starting quarterback in the NFL, not to mention one of the Chicago Bears, mind you, one of the craziest fan bases on God's green earth, you want to criticize their quarterback unjustified? Oh, you better believe that Aikman is coming. They are coming for you. Absolutely, he's going to get scrutinized to high hell. He deserved it. Karma is a bitch, baby. Karma hit. And now you're getting that karma. Now you're getting that karma to him, bro. Don't be crying for Troy Aikman. I don't want to hear it. If you're going to do that to Caleb, then you better believe people are going to defend Caleb, and rightfully so. And Caleb is allowed to defend himself if he chooses to do so, which he kind of did in that Instagram post, which, again, it wasn't that big of a deal, but he did it, so it is what it is. But this whole idea that we can't criticize Troy Aikman, I don't know what the hell multiverse you're in, but the moment that he opened his mouth the way he did towards Caleb Williams, he made himself a target. That's on him. Watch your mouth, son. As Joey Swole would say, you need to do better, Troy Aikman. You need to do better. Now, got that out the way. We got an injury report that came out today as it relates to Sunday's game against the Saints here, coming up very quickly. Kind of crazy how these games are really coming up quickly. One right after the other. All right, where's my... Oh, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at this injury report real quick, y'all. So, today's injury report goes as follows. Boom, boom, there it is, share. And then we go in here and bring it to the light. There it is. So, injury report today. Grady Jarrett did not participate. Cairo Santos did not participate. Noah Sewell did not participate. Obviously, he suffered a concussion when he got that friendly fire from Jonathan Ford. Unfortunate. It happens in these games, but hopefully Noah Sewell will be able to come back sooner rather than later, but we don't know. But he's probably going to be out in a game or two. DJ Moore. Interesting situation on DJ Moore. Obviously, he left the game in an ambulance on Monday night. They said a growing injury, but when we first heard that it was a growing issue, why he had to be ambulance off, I think we all, including myself, thought like there is no growing injury that requires an ambulance. Something else is going on. But I think a couple of people kind of commented that it might be a little bit more intimate as far as what he injured exactly. So we're not going to go into too much detail about that. But regardless of the case, DJ Moore was back out there practicing today in limited fashion. So whatever he injured, he went back out on the practice field. So kudos to him. That is a tough dude, man. So salute to DJ Moore for being out there, even though he has a sensitive injury that he's dealing with. Kudos. Amen Agbagbamiga here was activated off the, his 21-day practice window was activated today. So he was practicing in a limited capacity. He's a special teamer. And now DeAndre Swift being on the injury list, that sucks. Because he's coming off that monster game against the Commanders. And now apparently he's dealing with a growing injury. So I don't know what's going on with growings around here, man, in Chicago. But apparently DeAndre Swift is now on the injury report with a growing injury. Hopefully it's not serious. We'll find out. But he was limited out there. We'll see if he could play on Sunday. Austin Booker practicing full again for the second week in a row. Travis Homer practicing well. And Jonah Jackson, who did not participate in a simulated practice on Wednesday, was out there in full today with an ankle. So hopefully Jonah Jackson will be all right. But I really hope that Austin Booker gets to get in there because the Bears pass rush definitely needs a spark. We got a little bit more pressure on Jaden Daniels, but that was only because Dennis Allen was calling all types of blitzes on him, bro. He was sending Jaquan, he sent Kyler, he sent everybody, bro. So it would actually be cool if we can get a legitimate pass rusher in there to provide some pass rushing uncomfort for the opposing quarterback. That would be great. But yeah, the injury report kind of but it's Thursday. They got tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But I think most of the people that played on Monday should be able to play on Sunday, even though it is a short week. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm really hoping that Austin Booker does get his chance to debut this week because he will be a much needed boost if that can happen. Squeegee said, just hit me. Aikman was out from Caleb dismantling Dallas. That too, probably. Because Caleb really chopped them boys up. So Aikman might have been mad about that for sure. And Squeegee also says, your groin has large arteries that can make you bleed out internally. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's some sensitive stuff going down there in the groin area. But again, whatever it was, it must have been pretty serious if he had to be ambulanced off the field on Monday night for DJ. But again, he was back at practice today. Shout out to DJ Moore. Tough SOB, man. That's a tough dude. So kudos to him. So that brings me to the Saints this week. They are 1-5. They're not a very good football team, but they're competitive, right? Kind of like they were kind of that's not a good comparison. You know, I would almost compare the Saints to the Bears when Matt Eberflus was first hired. Justin Fields, they went like 3-14, but the Bears were competitive in like every game that year. Even though they lost 14 games, they were pretty competitive in almost all of the games. So I think the Saints are on a similar path. They're not a good team, but they're still competitive in every game. So it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Bears. But there's some interesting storylines heading into this particular game. Probably the top storyline being the Caleb Williams-Spencer Rattler matchup there. For those of y'all who don't know, Caleb and Spencer were on the same team back at Oklahoma. Caleb Williams took Spencer Rattler's job. And then Spencer Rattler ended up transferring to South Carolina because he lost his job to Caleb Williams. So there's some history there. I think they even asked Spencer Rattler. They asked Spencer Rattler what type of relationship does he have with Caleb Williams currently, and all he could say was cordial. And then they asked Caleb about it, and Caleb said they don't really talk. So I can't imagine that they would talk, given the fact that Caleb took his job and pretty much kicked him out of campus. But yeah, like Queechin said, they're a good team with a poor record. They've been in every game. Yeah, they've been in all their games. They've won a game, but obviously they lost 4 of them. But the Bears should be able to beat them. The Bears have the better team. We have the better quarterback. We should win the game. A lot of people are calling this a trap game. Also, I think I saw on NFL Network, every NFL Network personality picked the Bears to win, which is always scary when there's a unanimous victor on hand. It's kind of scary, but the Bears should win this game. And I think that Ben Johnson will have them in the right headspace to understand that, listen, don't look at their record. Look at what they're doing on the field because they're going to compete with you all. So let's go. Let's get this in. Jeep Guy, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Jeep Guy said, Saints could be the sleeping giant team. Bears can't take them lightly. No, they cannot. They better not take them lightly. I don't think Ben Johnson is going to allow them to take them lightly. Also, Dennis Allen is going to know that team very well, given that he was the former head coach of that team last year. So Dennis Allen will also probably tell them that you can't take that team lightly because he knows how competitive they are, given the fact that he used to coach them only a year ago. So I think the Bears will be ready. They'll be prepared. The only thing that really worries me about this is that, again, they're coming off a short week. The Bears just played on Monday night. Now they got to play 6 days later on Sunday. Hopefully they'll have enough time to rest their bodies in between games. I think they will. And if they have that rest and they come in there prepared properly to play this team, I think the Bears will do fine. I think they'll win the game. I think the Bears are set up to go on a very nice winning streak here. Because I think after the Saints, you got what? The Ravens, and then the Bengals, and I think you got the Giants afterward. So these are all winnable games. And I know it's kind of crazy saying that the game against the Ravens is winnable, but the Ravens defense has kind of in shambles, yo. I mean, yeah, they're going to get Lamar Jackson back, and they might get Roquan Smith back by the time they go against the Bears, but they're still, the rest of that Ravens defense is still in shambles. So the Bears will have some opportunities to score on them. They just got to figure out how to stop Lamar, which is easier said than done, obviously. But again, the Bears defense also is getting healthier, hopefully. So Grady Jarrett hopefully will be back by that time. Maybe we don't know. and they'll have a better chance to kind of contain Lamar. But obviously, this game is first this Sunday against the Saints. Again, I think we should win. I think we're favored to win. We should win. It's going to be at home, which is kind of stuck. I think this is the only home game that we have for a while. I think the next 4 or 5 games, I think, are on the road, which is kind of lame, but that's the way the schedule is set up. Caleb Williams is continuing to play well, even though, again, he is missing layups, but he's still playing well, and he's not putting the ball in harm's way. So that's also amazing. And, yeah, I think we can go on a nice little run here. Squeegee said, ball control, keep Lamar on the bench. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very good strategy. And that will, especially given the fact that the Bears now have a run game, finally, if they can maintain that run game, that's definitely a strategy that they can implement in Baltimore. Let that running game go to work, keep Lamar on the bench, and then if play the Ravens depleted defense and score some points. I like that, Squeegee. I like that. Also, we had Theo Benedette made his first start at left tackle on Monday night, and he did very well. He is a very athletic offensive lineman, and he was doing his thing on the running blocking. Now, on the pass blocking, he did all right on the pass blocking. I didn't hear his name called, but so he did okay. I think Caleb took 3 sacks in that game for whatever reason. But a couple of those were pretty much on him for holding the ball too long, or actually there was one sack there were really nobody open, and he probably should have threw the ball away, but he didn't. So I don't know, but yeah. Theo Benedict did pretty well on Monday. Darnell Wright was a fourth on Monday night. My God, Darnell Wright blocked 2 dudes in one play. I'm like, wow. I thought blocked 2 dudes at the same time. I'm like, damn, son. So shout out to Darnell Wright. Hopefully he can keep that level of play up. Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman, Joe Tooney, they all held their own. Joe Tooney is just a rock, yo. Nobody or nobody get past Joe Tooney. I love it. So the fact that this Bears offensive line is really letting Caleb sit back there and dissect the defense and operate is a beautiful thing. And I think this team has a lot of potential here, especially with these next few games. They can rattle off a few more wins, and it should put us in firm playoff discussion. We just got to figure out how to win these games in our division because they are important. And so far, we haven't done the best, but it's early. Those were early games. Now we're getting better and better. And as Ben Johnson said in the offseason, the Bears will be playing their best football in December and January, which is what you want. So once these division games come back around in December and things, I think the Bears are going to be better equipped to handle them. So I'm digging it, man. And I love Ben Johnson, dude. He is a psychopath. He is so energetic. The team is taking his lead. Like when he gives his post-game speeches, the good, better, best, the whole team is in unison. It is a beautiful thing just to see this team change. Just watch the culture change in real time from where it was last year to where we are now. And they're being on this winning streak. It is amazing, yo. The Ben Johnson effect is real. Like, if the Bears keep winning and they end up with a good record at the end of the year, there is no way that you can tell me that anybody else besides Ben Johnson is going to win Coach of the Year. Like, he will win it in a landslide. No one else will be close. Not even Mike Vrabel. And I know Mike Vrabel doing a good job over there in New England. No, he ain't. If the Bears go to the playoffs, nobody's messing with Ben Johnson for Coach of the Year. Like, Ben Johnson getting Coach of the Year immediately. Nobody's messing with him in that regard. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the chat. I think we're going to kind of wind this down here. I appreciate y'all coming through the live. Again, I host these live streams every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. So if you rock with the channel, you just want to hang out with me live, I'm always here on Thursday nights, whether there's obviously there's a game coming on in a few, what is it about? In a few minutes here? What time is it? Yeah, game comes on half an hour. I think it's the Bengals and the Steelers tonight on Prime Video. But yeah, I'm always here Thursday night, hanging out live. I try to put out a few videos a week for you all. But yeah, we out here, we on the channel. We doing a damn thing. And yeah, man, we are in a good situation right now for the Chicago Bears. It is lovely to be a Bear fan right now. Jeep Guy said, did you hear the rumors about the Bears trying to trade DJ Moore? I'm pretty sure those are rumors. I think it's not the Bears trying to trade him, Jeep Guy. It's the fans. There's a lot of fans out there for that. For whatever reason, they want to trade DJ Moore. And I don't know why. I think they probably want to trade DJ Moore because they want to see more of Luther Burden. Maybe that might be some of it. I don't know. But DJ Moore is a valuable part of the team, and I don't think the Bears are going to trade him at all. I don't know why would you, but he's not going anywhere. I think the fans more than anything want to trade him. The Bears aren't trading DJ Moore. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it. Now, they could trade somebody else. They could trade Braxton Jones since they're not using him anymore and he's just in there collecting dust. They could trade Braxton Jones. I would definitely approve that trade if it were to come to fruition. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think that that's something that they should look into if the opportunity presents itself for them to get somebody quality in return. Yeah, I agree. Braxton can go, no doubt. We worked out Jamal. We worked him out like a few weeks ago, actually, I think. And we ended up bringing, actually, no, I think didn't we work him out in the preseason or whatever? And then we ended up bringing Britton Brown onto the team. So we worked him out like a while ago, but he didn't make the cut. So it is what it is. Squeegee said those rumors are not from reliable sources. DJ not being shopped. Yeah, I agree. Those are fan fiction more than anything. The Bears are not trading DJ Moore. Like, I don't see any situation, any scenario where the Bears are going to trade DJ Moore. I just don't see it happening. Now, it is the NFL, so anything can happen, obviously. But I don't see the Bears trading DJ Moore. Like, he's a very valuable weapon for this team. He gives them something in the running game and the passing game, and he can block. So why would you trade him? Like, he's good. He's all right. Squeegee today with a punter they worked out. Oh, they worked him out today? Oh, okay. Oh, maybe because of the DeAndre Swift injury. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. And they worked out a punter today, huh? Interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Oh, speaking of kickers and punters, Cairo Sancho still being on the injury list means that we can get another week of Jake Moody. Bro, let me tell y'all something before we get out. Let me tell y'all something real quick, man. Bro, when Jake Moody lined up to take that game-winning field goal, your boy Vipe was a little shaky. I was a little shaky. I was like, oh, please let this man hit the field goal. Please let this man hit the field goal. I wasn't sure, yo, because, again, he just got cut from San Francisco for being erratic. And now here he is, first game as a Chicago Bear in a game-winning situation. I'm like, please let him hit the field goal. And then he kicked it, and then the ball goes, like, to the left, and then the line straight back. I'm like, what the hell? But when it went through, I was like, yes, yes. And the legend of Jake Moody was born, yo. So Jake Moody is now a Chicago Bears legend. So I am not mad if Cairo Santos wants to sit out another week and we could get one more week of Jake Moody. I'm not mad. The cool thing about Jake Moody is that he has a powerful leg. Now, his accuracy can be a little questionable sometimes, but his leg strength is definitely superior to Cairo Santos. So I'm all for Jake Moody getting another opportunity this week. So if Cairo can't go, I'm cool with it. Bring out Jake Moody for one more week. Let's go. Let's go. Bro, I know, right? We were all nervous, right? We were like, oh my God, like, please hit the kick. Please hit the kick, man. Please hit the kick. Jake Moody, please. you ain't never lied, bro. You ain't never lied. We were all nervous out there. Like, come on, please hit the kick, yo. Please hit the kick. But he hit it, and he's a Chicago Bears legend now, and the Mannies had to suck it up. And they still mad today. The Mannies are out there mad today, yo. It's Thursday out here, and they still mad that we won the game. But we know why they mad, though. We know why they mad. They mad because they're irrelevant again. I mean, they spent an entire year living off of that Hail Mary, and now it's over. You can't talk about it anymore, and now they're back to being irrelevant. And now they might not even make the playoffs, yo. The Mannies might not even make the playoffs because the Bears now own the tiebreaker with Washington. So if there's a Bears-Washington tiebreaker, the Mannies are out. It's over with, bro. They're wrap. So they might not even make the playoffs. So they shook, yo. They shook. Woo! Punter Matt Highball and Jay Williams. Okay, so they worked out Matt Hayball and Jamal Williams. Okay, we'll see what happens with that. We shall see if anything comes of that. I know we got the tiebreaker now, so they might not even make the playoffs. Yo, they are mad. They are mad. But listen, man, that's what they get for talking trash, yo. That's what they get for talking trash. Don't you ever come to Bears Twitter talking trash, yo. Bears Twitter will own anybody, any fan base in this damn NFL. If they step to Bears Twitter, you're getting owned. And unfortunately for the Mannies, they didn't understand. You are talking about a fan base that literally had a civil war with itself over a quarterback, right? This fan base had a war with itself between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. The fans themselves had a war on Twitter. You want to tell me that you thought it was a good idea, Manny, to come to Bear Twitter and talking that trash? Bro, that was a dumb idea if I ever saw one. That was stupid. And now they can't take it and get owned after protecting their tweets. They're blocking Bear fan for getting in that ass. It's your fault. Again, karma, yo. That karma is nasty. You know they say revenge is the dish best served cold. And the Mannies don't like their dishes cold, yo. They don't like the dishes cold. Commander fans. Get out here, Bummander. The Bummander. Yo, I saw that video on Twitter where my man called them the Bummanders. I was rolling. I was fucking dying out here. I was dying calling them the Bummanders. Woo! But yeah. How about them Bears? Woo! Yeah, baby. 3-2. A game above 500. Probably gonna be 4-2 here shortly. Assuming they don't overlook the tank, which I don't think they will. And then we are on to Baltimore to go face the Ravens. Ooh-wee. But again, I appreciate y'all dropping in the live stream. We got some Thursday night football coming up here between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. The AARP club. It's like the AARP Bowl. So y'all go enjoy that. I'll be back tomorrow with a video probably if I can figure out what to talk about. I should be back with a video tomorrow. But yeah. Appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all take care, take it easy. And until next time, bear down.